Hi, and thanks for watching my YouTube video. My name is Brian, and today I'm going to change the windshield wiper fluid reservoir, or as I call it, bug juice jar. This is my 1987 Porsche. It's a project car. I bought it because I enjoy working on it, and I bought this used off of eBay. One of the problems is that the one that's in my car currently is cracked, and it's a little bit on the difficult to get to side, so I think it intimidates a lot of owners. But there are actually only 1, 2, 3 bolts that secure this, and this is the difference between a dirty windshield and a clean windshield. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this, and I'll start by removing this bolt, and I'm also going to force the headlights into the up position, and to get them to stay in the up position I'm going to disconnect the battery once I have them up. So I'll be right back. Now I'll save you a little bit of time. This is a 10mm bolt head, so I'm using a small ratchet because it shouldn't take a whole lot of force to remove this. It's possible to put the key in the ignition, put the headlights up, and take the key out, and they will stay up. However, it's always better to be safe, and if the headlight mechanism was to go down while my fingers were in there, it wouldn't be very pleasant. I'm a real big fan of these little metal trays. You can pick them up at Harbor Freight or AutoZone or Home Depot. Harbor Freight has them for a couple dollars a piece, and their claim to fame is they have a rubberized base with a magnet in the bottom, and it's a great place to put bolts and they don't get lost. When I was younger and I used to work on cars, I always used to lose bolts. I refer to it as the bolt gremlin. So I'm going to set it here. It's not going to hurt anything. It won't get a scratch. And my first step is to loosen. So I've just loosened that bolt. Now I'm going to get down here and get this bolt, and then I'm going to find this bolt and get rid of it. And we'll see what else has to come out to pull this thing out of here. There are some parts that I swear they build the car around. On a Jeep, it's the air conditioning evaporator that's under the dash. Dodge does the same thing too. I swear they start with that part and they build the whole car around it. On a Porsche, this bolt is one of the parts that they build the car around, because there is no way you can ever get this bolt out. There's a tow hook in the way. So you'll need a wrench to slide up in here to hold the head of the bolt while you unscrew it from the other side. It is semi-accessible, but the other thing that's kind of working to my advantage is that the previous owner scraped the mailbox and broke off this part of the cowling, and if that cowling was there, it would be very difficult to get into this area. So you may want to put your car up on blocks or something, like drive up on blocks if you've got to work on this. It's a very difficult to access area underneath there. Okay, so here is the old tank, and there's a leak in it somewhere. Yeah, there's one small leak right there, and that might be all that's wrong with it. So it turns out that the way this comes out is you do have to take that bolt out that I said the car is built around, and it turns out there's 2 bolts with a 19mm head on them that hold a tow point in, and then this will slide out. You also have to loosen the piece of plastic here between the wheel and the inside of the wheel well, and then this whole piece will slide out, and I assume the new one will slide back in. Okay, this is a really tight fit. It would help if the car was up on something, but the car's not up on something, and I don't have anything to put it up on, so I'm going to show you. The trick to this is to wedge the tank in between the wheel and one of the bushings, at which point you can push this piece of plastic back and get the clearance you need to work the tank through this little rat's nest of wires and other things that live in this corner of the car. And as I said before, this is a relatively tight fit. And it makes me wonder if it's the right tank. We're most of the way at this point, so yeah. What happens is the power steering cooling loop, it's a bit of an interference fit, so if you just pull gently and firmly it will come through, at which point you can reverse the process and begin to secure things up. So I'm going to put the first bolt or screw in, and I'm just going to hand tighten it. That'll make it easier for me to work on the bottom part of this where it's more of a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, so I've got almost everything back together at this point. I've tightened up the bolts, and the order that you tighten these up is you tighten the one nearest the engine, followed by the one nearest the wheel, followed by the one on top. And that way your tank aligns and you don't have to fight with the one on the bottom. One of the things that I took off in the process was the cover for the headlamp motor. This is a excruciatingly difficult thing to get back on here. I've stretched it and I've fought with it, and I don't think it's going to go back. So I think it's going to go in the glove box until I can figure out how to get it to go back on there. I also took advantage of this opportunity to replace the motor with one from eBay. Again, another $15–20 purchase. I think the tank was about $50. The tank was somewhat expensive, but then again, it is a Porsche, and everything for Porsche seems to be a little bit expensive. I hope you found this video to be helpful and informative. Don't forget to tighten up the toe point that is held in with the 19mm cap head bolts on the bottom. And thanks for watching my video. One thing I think is worth mentioning, make sure you use Loctite on the nuts on the bottom. Otherwise they will probably rattle off and be gone. I'm using some inexpensive Loctite from Harbor Freight. Doesn't really matter what kind it is. This was $1.50 as opposed to what AutoZone sells for $6. It'll do something similar. It's just to kind of gum up the thread so that it doesn't vibrate loose, and it's something I highly recommend on all vehicles or engines.